I used to have it all. Or at least, it looked like I did. A collection of designer watches, a luxury sedan with a car payment that felt more like a mortgage, and a wardrobe that screamed, millionaire. I had the whole image down. The only problem? I was faking it. The truth is, I was a slave to my own stuff, working non-stop just to maintain an image for people I barely even knew. The stress was crushing. My savings account was a ghost town. And freedom? That wasn't even in my vocabulary. It wasn't until I sold it all, the car, the watches, everything, and built my life around 3 simple principles, that I actually hit a 7-figure net worth. It turns out, looking rich and being rich are 2 totally different sports. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how I quit playing the wrong one. Section 1. The illusion of wealth. For years, my main financial goal wasn't to build wealth, it was to perform it. I was convinced that success was something you wear, drive, and post online. Every single purchase was filtered through one question. What does this say about me? Look, the desire for status is a powerful, primal thing. We're all wired to want respect, and society trains us to believe the fastest way there is by flashing symbols of success. My credit card statements were proof. Hundreds on dinners I couldn't afford, thousands on clothes I wore once for a picture, and a car that lost a huge chunk of its value the moment I drove it off the lot. I was a master of what economists call conspicuous consumption, spending money on luxury goods just to show off your economic power. This creates a toxic, competitive cycle where everyone's trying to one-up each other. But here's the brutal truth. Performing wealth is one of the most effective ways to absolutely destroy it. Every dollar I spent on a depreciating liability was a dollar I couldn't put into an appreciating asset. Think of it this way. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket, while an asset is something that puts money in your pocket. My life was packed with liabilities. I was on a hamster wheel, running faster and faster, just to stay in the same place, all while pretending I'd already won the race. The psychological toll was enormous. The constant fear that one unexpected bill could bring my entire house of cards down. It was exhausting. Section 2. The awakening. My turning point wasn't some big, dramatic movie scene. It was a slow, creeping realization. It started by watching genuinely wealthy people, folks like Warren Buffett, who, despite his insane fortune, still lives in the same modest house he bought back in 1958 for about $31,500. His lifestyle isn't about being cheap. It's a strategic choice to focus his energy and his capital on what actually matters. I stumbled upon a simple but game-changing idea. Stop trying to look rich. Let your portfolio do the talking. Most wealthy people don't stay that way by buying flashy liabilities. They get and stay rich by buying boring assets. They focus on ownership, not just consumption. The final straw for me was a spreadsheet. I decided to do a full-blown audit of my rich guy expenses. I tracked every dollar spent on keeping up appearances, the car payment, the insane insurance, the watches, the clothes, the overpriced meals. When I saw the final number, my jaw hit the floor. It was thousands of dollars a month. Money that, if I'd invested it, would have been out there working for me. Instead, it was just maintaining an illusion. That night, I made a decision. I was done performing. I was going to dismantle the facade, piece by piece. I listed the car for sale. I took pictures of the watches. I started selling off every status symbol that was holding my future hostage. It was terrifying, don't get me wrong, but it was also the most liberating feeling I've ever had. I was finally choosing my own freedom over what other people thought. Section 3. The 3 principles of real wealth. Selling off all that stuff gave me a nice chunk of cash, But cash sitting in a bank doesn't build wealth. I needed a new game plan, a new operating system for my money. I dove into learning everything I could, and I boiled it all down to 3 simple, non-negotiable principles I still live by today. Principle number 1, stop performing, start owning. This is the foundational mindset shift. It's about moving your focus from looking rich to being rich. Looking rich is about what you can buy. Being rich is about what you own. So, the first thing I did was get crystal clear on the difference between an asset and a liability. Again, an asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. My luxury car was a liability. Stocks, real estate, and businesses are assets. So, the first practical step, sell the liabilities. I sold my car and bought a reliable used vehicle for a fraction of the price, paid in cash. The difference, which was tens of thousands of dollars, became the seed money for my new life. I sold the watches, and that money went straight into a separate account, earmarked for one thing: buying assets. This principle changes how you act. Before any major purchase, you have to ask yourself, is this an asset or a liability? Is this going to grow in value and maybe pay me one day? Or is it just going to go down in value and cost me money? The goal isn't to live like a monk. It's to be intentional. It's about understanding that every dollar you waste on a liability is a dollar you can't use to buy back your time. Principle number 2, create a system for your money. You don't just hope to become wealthy. You build a system that does the heavy lifting for you. Willpower runs out, but systems don't. The system that changed everything for me is the 50-30-20 budget. It's a popular guideline, originally made famous by Elizabeth Warren, and it's brilliant because it's so simple. Here's how it works. You take your after-tax income and give every dollar a job, divided into 3 buckets. 50% for needs. This is for the essentials: housing, utilities, groceries, and transportation. The goal is to keep these fixed costs at or below half your income. If they're higher, that's a red flag that your baseline lifestyle is too expensive. 30% for wants. This is your lifestyle money: dining out, hobbies, travel, you name it. This rule doesn't say you can't have fun, it just puts a healthy limit on it, so your lifestyle doesn't eat up your future. 20% for savings and investments. This is the magic bucket. This is you paying your future self. It's non-negotiable. This money is for aggressively paying down high-interest debt and, most importantly, buying assets. I applied this like my life depended on it. On a $5,000 monthly take-home, that meant $2,500 for needs, $1,500 for wants, and a mandatory $1,000 for savings and investments. This simple system took all the emotion out of my financial decisions. My spending was no longer about impulse, it was part of a plan. I could go out and enjoy a nice dinner without feeling guilty, because I knew my future self-payment was already taken care of. If setting up a budget like this feels like a headache, I've created a simple 1-page financial plan that walks you through the 50-30-20 rule. It's the exact tool I used to get my start, and it's completely free. Principle number 3, automate your wealth engine. This final principle is the real game changer. It's what puts your wealth building on autopilot. It's built on the old idea of pay yourself first, but with a modern twist. You don't just pay yourself first, you make it automatic and invisible. The second my paycheck hit my bank account, I had automatic transfers set up. That 20% for savings and investments wasn't just something I hoped to have left over. It was the very first bill that got paid, whisked away into a separate investment account before I could even think about spending it. And what did I do with that money? I didn't try to be a Wall Street genius picking hot stocks. I consistently invested it into low-cost index funds. An index fund is just a type of investment that holds a small piece of all the companies in a major market index, like the S&P 500. It's automatically diversified, has incredibly low fees, and historically has delivered solid long-term growth. Though remember, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. You can often open an investment account online in minutes and start with very little money. This unleashes the power of compounding. That 20% I invested every single month started to grow. The dividends it earned were automatically reinvested, buying more shares, which then earned their own dividends. It's a wealth snowball. It starts small, but over time, it becomes an unstoppable force. The money from selling my stuff gave me a head start, but it was the relentless, automated, monthly investing that actually built the seven-figure portfolio. This system works whether you're starting with $50 or $5,000. The key is consistency and time. Section 4. The new reality. So, what's my life like now? I don't drive a fancy car. My watch tells time, that's it. My wardrobe is simple. To a stranger on the street, I probably look less rich than I did 5 years ago. And honestly, that's the whole point. My net worth is in the 7 figures. I have 0 debt. My investments generate enough passive income to cover my entire lifestyle. I didn't trade my status symbols for nothing. I traded them for freedom. And let me tell you, the highest form of wealth isn't a luxury car. It's waking up every single morning and being able to say, I can do whatever I want today. That feeling, that quiet confidence that comes from owning your own time, is something no status symbol on earth can buy. The anxiety is gone. The pressure to impress is gone. All of it has been replaced by a deep sense of security and peace. I stopped buying things to impress other people and started building a life that impressed me. Conclusion. The journey from looking rich to being rich was really a process of subtraction. It was about cutting out the noise to make room for what truly mattered. It meant letting go of the ego that craves a pat on the back and embracing the quiet power of financial discipline. The 3 principles couldn't be simpler. Stop performing and start owning. Create a system for your money and automate your wealth engine. You don't need a huge income to get started. You just need to decide, right now, that your freedom is worth more than other people's opinions. If this story hit home for you, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment below and tell me one status symbol you're thinking about ditching to build real wealth. And if you want to join a community of people who are serious about building actual wealth, not just faking it, make sure you subscribe. Your future self is going to thank you for it. Remember, your net worth doesn't define your self-worth, but your habits will absolutely define your future.